Hi guys, and on today's Technique Tuesday, I'm going to be looking at Taaha's deadlift. So Taaha approached me in the gym and asked me about recommendations in terms of breaking plateaus. Now the first thing I would say before talking about specific programs or specific exercises is just to have a look at whether the setup position is going to be an efficient way for that lifter or athlete to pull the bar off of the floor. Now the first thing to note here is, although Taaha is obviously clearly a tall athlete, is his setup position means that he's unable to use his hips properly in the movement. Now in the deadlift, the closer the hips are to the bar, the more efficient this is going to make for a bar path coming off the floor. Now, even as a taller athlete, what I'd like to see from Taaha first and foremost is the hips a little lower and for him to be able to push his chest through. Now we can already see before the bar even breaks off the floor is that Taaha's back is slightly rounded, and again, by not being able to get the hips closer to the bar, it's going to be really hard for Taaha to brace and be able to push through the floor and keep his back flat in doing so. So as we see the bar about to come off the floor, so if we just slow that down, if we pause the video and slow that back down, so once Taaha gets the bar past his knees, it's actually a pretty smooth lift, and he probably does have more reps or more weight left in the tank. However, before even looking at that, the first thing I would note is the coaching cue I would give is to imagine there's oranges underneath the armpits and to squeeze them together. What this will do is create the necessary tension in order for Taaha to push himself away from the floor and to be able to lock his lats into the movement. At the moment, he is just yanking on the bar to a certain extent, which means that he is not as well attached to the bar as what we'd like. Again, does do a good job of keeping the bar close, but I'd still like to see almost making the bar click, which I've explained in another video, bracing by squeezing those armpits together and almost trying to bend the bar in half, and pushing the legs hard against the floor, almost as if it was a leg press. Other variations I would probably recommend would be, once we've worked on the setup position and bracing, would be something like a pause deadlift. So breaking the bar off the floor as little as possible, holding that position for 2 or 3 seconds, and then continuing the lift from there. What that's going to do is will punish you if you are in an inefficient position or you let your hips rise too early, because the lift will be much harder, and equally it will force you to stay within that position before you continue with the rest of the lift. So key take homes for me would be making sure that we are in the correct setup position to begin with. We should be able to see our logo within the mirror. Secondly would be to make sure we are bracing against the bar and taking that big belly full of air in and forcing that down and into our belt. If you would like your videos, technique analyze as part of my Technique Tuesday, then send me a video along with ideally a side-on view or multiple views of the same lift if you've got them available, and let me know what you're working on.